So welcome to medicinal biochemistry class on nucleic acid metabolism. So today we will learn protein synthesis. In fact, I require two classes to explain protein synthesis. So there are two divisions in protein synthesis, or two processes to be precise. So that is transcription and translation. So today we will learn transcription. Okay. So at the end of this class, the students shall be able to define the central dogma of life, define transcription and translation, explain process of transcription, explain the process of post-transcriptional modifications. Okay. So before we begin this protein synthesis, one basic thing that you should know is what is the 3' end and 5' end that we refer in DNA and RNA. Okay, so the 3' and 5' refers to the position of carbon in the ribose sugars of nucleotides. Okay, so the numbering begins with the carbon adjacent to the oxygen in the ribose sugar that is attached to the nucleotide. So here, so the first carbon is called as 1', second carbon is 2', third carbon is 3', fourth carbon is 4', and this is the fifth carbon out of the ring. So that is called as 5'. Okay, so the nucleotides are attached to each other by forming bonds at two places. One is at 3', the linkage will be between 3' and of one sugar and 5' of other sugar. Okay. So in a nucleotide chain of RNA or DNA, in a nucleic acid, so there will be two free ends. Okay. So one will have 5' as its free end, like in here, and other will have 3' as its free end. So when we refer 3' end means, so at that end, so 3' carbon is having free OH group. Okay, it is not linked with other sugar moiety. So, and when we refer 5' end means, so at the 5' that is at that end, so we'll have the 5' carbon attached to phosphate and it will be free. It will not be attached to any other sugar moiety. Okay, so always in a nucleic acid, so that is in a nucleotide chain, so there will be two ends. One is 3' free end and another one is 5' free end. So this is very important to know. So if you want to understand the transcription and translation process, wherein we will be referring these two things continuously in almost every slide. Okay. So now introduction to this protein synthesis. So biosynthesis of proteins happens by two processes. Okay, one is transcription. So that is in eukaryotic cells, transcription takes place in nucleus. Okay, so during transcription, DNA is used as a template to make a molecule of messenger RNA. So here, transcription is a process where you are going to prepare messenger RNA. Okay, so mRNA will carry the information from DNA to tRNA, like what amino acids have to be carried for protein synthesis. Okay, so messenger RNA, so role is to carry the information from DNA to tRNA, that is transfer RNA, to carry the amino acids in a proper sequence. So the other process of protein synthesis is translation. So the molecules of mRNA leaves the nucleus and goes to ribosome in the cytoplasm, where the translation happens. Translation happens in the ribosome that is present in the cytoplasm. So here during translation, the genetic code in mRNA is read and used to make a protein. So that genetic code is carried from DNA by mRNA and it is used to make the protein. Okay, so these are the two processes of protein synthesis, and today we will learn transcription, the first process. Okay. So the sum of the transcription and translation, so that is the transcription plus translation, is called central dogma of life, because It is a process where one of the very important biomolecule is synthesized, that is protein. So this is called a central dogma of life. So this transcription and translation decides so many things like what disease we carry, how we look, how our eyes are, what are our characters. Okay, so the major portion of a life is based on this transcription and translation process. Okay, so this is called a central dogma of life. First, a DNA is synthesized, so it undergoes a replication, then transcription, that is RNA is synthesized, so then translation, that is protein synthesis. So the whole process is called central dogma of life. So here transcription is carried out by the enzyme known as RNA polymerase. So translation occurs in cytoplasm. So this transcription occurs in nucleus. So this translation occurs on ribosome, and replication is carried out by DNA replication is carried out by DNA polymerase. So there are certain organisms where there is synthesis of RNA to DNA. Usually, normally, in most of the organisms, so the process moves from DNA to RNA and RNA to protein. Okay, but not reverse. There are certain organisms where this reverse process occurs. So this is called as reverse transcription, and the enzyme that catalyzes this process is called as reverse transcriptase. So which copies RNA to DNA. Okay, but in human beings, so the process moves like this. That is DNA to RNA, RNA to protein. So now transcription. So during transcription, DNA is used as a template to make a molecule of messenger RNA. Okay, so this will have the complementary sequence of bases. Okay, so this will have the complementary sequence of bases. Okay, so the enzyme used in transcription is RNA polymerase. So there are several forms of RNA polymerase, so that occur in different organisms. Okay, so in eukaryote, transcription is carried out by RNA polymerase 2. Okay, so the raw materials used are, so here, so there are 4 nucleosides that are used mainly. That is nucleoside triphosphates, that is nucleotides, that is ATP, CTP, GTP, and UTP. Okay, so transcription proceeds from 5' end to 3' end. Okay, so here the first nucleotide will have 5' end free, and the new bases are added to the free 3' end, that is 3' OH group. Okay, so transcription starts at a region of DNA, so that is called as promoter region. Okay, now we will discuss the different stages of transcription, that is called as process of transcription. So transcription takes place in 3 steps. So the first is initiation, second one is elongation, third one is termination. Okay, so in initiation, what happens is, so the RNA polymerase will bind to a region of DNA that is known as promoter region. Okay, so the enzyme RNA polymerase binds to a region of DNA that is known as promoter region. So this gives a signal for initiation of mRNA synthesis. Okay, so here once this RNA polymerase binds from that region, the DNA will unwind. Okay, so the DNA will unwind so that the RNA polymerase can read the bases in one of the DNA strands. Okay, so it will bind only to one DNA strand. The other DNA strand will be free. Okay, so the enzyme is ready to make a strand of mRNA with the complementary sequence of that DNA strand. Okay, so here the DNA strand where the RNA polymerase binds and produces the mRNA strand, so that strand is called as coding strand. So here the mRNA strand, that is RNA polymerase, is bound to the red colored strand. So the red colored strand indicated here is where the RNA polymerase is binding. So this strand is called as the coding strand. So other free strand is called as non-coding strand, because here the RNA polymerase will not utilize its nucleotide base sequence for to produce the template. Okay, so the RNA is made from 5' to 3' end. Okay, so the RNA is made from 5' to 3' end. Here, the coding strand is actually read by RNA polymerase from 3' end to 5' end. So the coding strand, so the RNA polymerase will move from 3' end towards 5' end, and it will produce an strand of 5' end to 3' end orientation. Okay, so the RNA polymerase proceeds down the DNA, synthesizing the mRNA copy, adding nucleotides to the mRNA strand. So once it binds, what happens? So the DNA will unwind. So the RNA polymerase will move down this coding strand. Okay, and what happens? Suppose if there is an adenine here in the coding strand of DNA, so it will synthesize thiamine. Okay, so here the 5' end will be free, and to its 3' end of thiamine, suppose here it is guanine, it will produce cytosine will add. Okay, so like that it will produce its coding strand. Okay, so it will start producing its coding strand. So the next stage is elongation. So in the second stage, that is in elongation, what happens? It will continue to move down this coding strand, and it will add more number of nucleotides. Okay, that is complementary nucleotides to the growing mRNA strands. Once the sufficient number of nucleotides are added, then the process has to be stopped. So that process, that is called as termination. Okay, so here, so the termination occurs when this RNA polymerase comes across a particular sequence of nucleotide bases in the DNA. Okay, so in eukaryote, transcription does not have a definite end point. Okay, so the RNA is given a definitive termination point during RNA processing. So here it does not have an end point. So what happens? It will simply end at certain point, and after completion of these three stages, initiation, elongation, and termination, so in the next stage, that is, it is processed so that the unwanted things are removed, and the produced RNA is stabilized. Okay, so here after this mRNA strand synthesis is completed, it detaches from the DNA. Okay, so once it detaches, so it will undergo certain modification, what we refer to that as post-transcriptional modification. Okay, so at this stage where the mRNA is released from DNA and still it is not undergone processing, so at this stage the mRNA synthesized is called as pre-mRNA or primary mRNA. Okay, so this must have to go through more processing before it can be translated into protein. Okay, so here the steps in RNA processing are splicing, that is splice out the unwanted things, capping, so to stabilize the mRNA, and tailing, so that is adding poly A tail, what we call it as polyadenylation. Okay, so we'll see these three processes. What are these three things? Okay, so splicing means, so the primary mRNA will contain certain regions which do not code for protein, unwanted regions. So these regions are called as introns. Okay, so these regions, these introns are spliced out, that is, they are removed from the primary RNA transcript while it is still in the nucleus itself. Okay, so these the splicing process is carried out by certain hybrid molecules, which we call it as spliceosomes. Okay, thus intron sequences are removed and the remaining ends are resealed again. So here, so this is an intron part, so it is marked, it is removed, and the remaining strand is resealed. Okay, So the final region consists only the regions what we call it as exons. Exons means those region in the primary RNA which code for proteins. Okay. So capping. So why we have to do capping? So the next two process is capping and adding poly A tail, that is adenylation. So capping and that is tailing or adding poly A tail is for to increase the stability of RNA. So RNA is inherently unstable, mainly at the ends, that is 3' end and 5' end. So the ends are modified by capping and polyadenylation to protect the enzymes, that is to protect from enzymes that can break the mRNA. Okay, so at the 5' end, they are going to add a cap of modified guanine molecule. That is, they are going to attach an guanine molecule by forming a bond of 5' to 5'. Okay, so it will form, that is a modified 7-guanine. So here at guanine end we have added methyl. So that is why it is called as modified guanine. 7-methyl guanine is added at the 5' end of the mRNA. So here the 5' end of 7-methyl guanine will form a bond with 5' end of the mRNA chain. That is okay. So this is called as capping. Okay. So then polyadenylation. So here addition of poly A tail to the 3' end to protect it from the enzymes that can destroy this. Okay. At the 3' end, the primary mRNA is cut to a specific site and 100 to 200 adenine nucleotides are attached. Okay. So that is called as poly A tail or polyadenylation process. Okay, so this is the end of mRNA synthesis. This signals the end of mRNA synthesis. That is the end of transcription process. Okay. So then after this transcription process, so this is transported, that is it is exported from nucleus to ribosomes. Okay. So in summary, what happens? So the first stage is transcription process, that is initiation, elongation and termination. So it will produce primary mRNA. So it will contain both exons. Exons means that are involved in synthesis of protein, that is translation process, and introns that are not involved in translation process. So introns have to be removed. So that is splicing is done. So then you will have only exons. Okay, so then capping is done, that is addition of cap. So that is here we are going to add that is modified guanine, that is 7-methyl guanine as cap at the 5' end of this mRNA. Then poly A tail, that is 100 to 200 molecule of adenine molecules are attached at the 3' end of this mRNA. Okay, so now the mRNA contains only those portions which can involve in translation, and the ends are protected, that is it is stable and it is pure. So this is carried from nucleus to cytoplasm. Okay, so to the ribosomes. Okay. So that is again, so these some important points. So RNA polymerase produces pre-mRNA, so that is called as primary transcript. So then it is processed, splicing, capping, adding poly A tail. Okay, so then it is transported to cytoplasm where it is translated. Okay, so this is about transcription, that is producing mRNA. You have any doubts, you can ask me. Okay. Happy learning.